Alright, gentlemen, if you're watching this particular video, you probably just broke up with your lady. Or you probably ended a relationship, or she probably broke up with you. And you're trying to figure out some answers. You feel lost. You feel confused. You have some regrets of why did I end it? You have some regrets of some of the mistakes you made before in the midst of the relationship. Now, let me tell y'all something. Breakups is the greatest thing that could ever happen to a man. And I want to go ahead and tell you guys exactly why breakups is the best thing that could ever happen to you. Now, gentlemen, number one, I totally understand where you're coming from. I totally understand the hurt. I understand the confusion. I understand that you feel it in your chest. You feel like, man, like this is really over. This is somebody I built a connection with. This is somebody that I built a friendship with. Somebody that we used to snuggle, and she knew what I liked, and I knew what she liked, and I met her family. I know her best friends. It's so hurtful that now somebody who I'm so accustomed to is a complete stranger. I totally get it. But let me tell you something. It is a blessing that it ended. Now, you want to use this time, fellas, to really self-develop and get better from within. This is that time where you really focus on being the best version of yourself. This is that time where you have to let go of that particular circumstance, this particular situation. You have to let that go, and you got to move on. Right? And I know it's hard hearing it. I know it's like, oh, let me text her. Let me see what she's doing. Man, no. Leave her alone. It is over. Don't look through her IG. Don't look through the threads. As a matter of fact, delete the thread. And as a matter of fact, mute her on Instagram. You don't have to unfollow her. You don't have to block her. Just mute her. Right? Because blocking gives her more power. So what you do is mute them, right? So you don't have to see none of their information. You're going to see their posts. You're going to see the story, none of that. So mute them, all right? So again, you don't have to block them. The thing is, blocking them gives them more ammo. It gives them more power. You know, you're making them think like, oh yeah, I got him. Like he's over. He can't get over me. Like no. Don't even block her, gentlemen. Don't block her. Mute her. Now it's time to focus on your goals. What do you want to accomplish? What are some of the things that you want to achieve in your life? What are your short-term goals? What are your long-term goals? What is your bank account looking like? What is your mental health status looking like? Where's your physical health status looking like? Where's your spiritual health looking like? Right? So those are things that you have to analyze. All categories as far as what men need to work on. You got to look at all those things. You got to reevaluate all those things. It all starts with you looking in the mirror and really asking yourself, what do you want in life? What do you want your legacy to be? What do you want people to remember you by? Those are things that are very, very important as far as your personal development as a man. Right? It all starts with number one. Who am I? Looking yourself in the mirror. Reevaluating yourself. What could I have done different? What could I have done better? Who was I in that particular relationship? Learn from that, and then you keep it pushing. Now on to the next, which is focusing on your short and long-term goals, as I mentioned earlier in the video. Okay, what are your short-term goals? Do you want to focus on losing 15 pounds? Do you want to focus on gaining 15 pounds of muscle? Those are things that you want to think about, right? So I always tell fellas, man, you have to, when you go through a breakup, you got to remain focused. You got to remain focused because it's easy to get off track when somebody breaks your heart or somebody disappoints you or a particular circumstance did not work out. Gentlemen, I'm going to tell you the truth. In my last relationship was the greatest thing that's ever happened to me as far as the relationship happening and then the breakup. Now, the breakup was really, really difficult. It was good for me because I knew at that situation, I knew that I was not prepped for that particular relationship. I knew I wasn't ready, although that particular relationship built me and made me who I am now, where I know what to do, what not to do in relationships. Because again, experience is your best teacher. So That relationship really was the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. And also the breakup was the greatest thing that's ever happened to me, because it taught me a lot about myself. It taught me how to handle pressure. It taught me that, relationships, it's a give and take, right? And that was something I did not know in that relationship, right? And I've grown so much since that relationship. So, you don't want to wish bad on your exes. You know what I'm saying? Wherever she's at, I wish her the best. If she's watching this video, I wish you the best. Trust and believe. That relationship made me who I am, and it really helped me grow, and it really molded me, right? Now, also, what I want to tell you, gentlemen, is, like I said, focus on your goals. Who do you want in life? Most guys, when you ask them, what do you want in life? 85% of dudes can't really figure out what they want. And that's why you got to write things down. Start reading more books. Get into that self-improvement journey. Focus on developing you. Focus on your finances. Focus on your mental health. Focus on your spiritual health. Focus on your physical health. Those are all the things that you need to be focusing on post-breakup. Now, again, post-breakup, you should not be running through these women, thinking that that's going to help heal you from the relationship, when that's not going to help you heal from anything. Right? Running through the whole city is not going to help you heal from whatever pains or situations you're going through. Now, if that's something that you choose to do because your hormones is telling you to do something, do your thing. You're a grown man. But at the same time, don't do it out of a place just try to cover up the pain. Do it because you want to do it, because you want to enjoy yourself and release all that, whatever. But again, don't go crazy because you're trying to hide the pain or recover from the hurt that you went through or are going through in your breakup. Again, I always tell guys, man, when they go through a breakup, I'm like, man, this is the greatest thing that's ever happened to you. And they look at me like, what? No, I'm telling you. Ask any successful man, with every breakup they've experienced, they became a monster. They became 10 times motivated than ever. Heartbreaks is the greatest thing that could ever happen to a man. Gentlemen, my last heartbreak wasn't even a person I was in a relationship with, right? That was somebody that I really liked. We didn't do anything physical together, but this was somebody I really liked. This was about 3 years ago, before I became a men's self-improvement coach. And I lost myself in that situation because she had everything I wanted. I mean, it was just like, it was like a chick brought from God, and when the feeling wasn't reciprocated, it hurt me so bad, because at that time, I didn't understand myself. At that time, I wasn't who I am today. At that time, I didn't read self-improvement books. At that time, I didn't focus on personal development. At that time, I didn't focus on monk mode. I didn't focus on having goals. At the time, I was just a teacher, and that was it. I didn't even start the platform yet. So I was just kind of just living with no real focus or no purpose. But the moment I found my purpose, gentlemen, my life, my mindset, how I operate changed for the better. So truly finding your purpose is really the answer to your problems as far as personal development or anything like that. So those are things that I always tell you, gentlemen. You have to focus on personal development and finding your purpose. That's the best way to get over a breakup, gentlemen. Finding your purpose, because again, that's why I always advise men. Finding your purpose is going to lead you in the right direction. Finding your purpose is going to put you around the right people. Truly finding your purpose is going to put you around a woman that you never thought would ever come in your life. Right? So those are things I always tell gentlemen, man. You got to find that purpose, find those goals, find your short and long-term goals. Go to networking events. Those are some of the things I was doing post heartbreak. And that wasn't even that last heartbreak in 2022 wasn't even a person I was in a relationship with. This was somebody I was just talking to. This is somebody I even do anything intimate with. And at that time, I was so broken and lost that I didn't realize what the hell I was doing. I was just kind of just living. And I was spending too much time talking to her. I was spending too much time just trying to make sure she wasn't talking to other dudes or looking through her IG and all these different things that I know most guys do because they're trying to fill that missing void. And you never want to use a person to fill in that missing void. right? You want to feel purpose to sustain yourself. You want to use purpose to fulfill that missing void, right? You want to fulfill that soul with purposeful things. So again, gentlemen, I'm telling you, breakups is the greatest thing that could ever happen to a man. And I've seen so many dudes become so successful post breakup. But it all depends on your mindset. It all depends on how you respond, what you do post breakup. Now, most dudes crash out. Most dudes go crazy. Most dudes lose themselves. Some dudes commit suicide. A lot of dudes do different things post breakup and don't realize that there's so much more to life than that one woman that you just ended a relationship with. There's so much more. There's so much more. You're so much better than that. And I'm telling y'all, find your purpose. And the first book I recommend to any man that just came from post breakup is The Way of the Superior Man. I don't care who you are. I don't care what it is, what circumstance that you're in. Read The Superior Man, and I promise you, that book is going to change your life forever. It's changed my life. It's changed multiple lives. As a matter of fact, I have even gotten a phone call from a guy, and he told me, man, that book that you recommended me, bro, really changed my life forever. And I was like, man, you know what? That meant a lot to me. It was a random phone call. This happened last week. A brother I ain't talked to in 8 months told me, because of that book, it changed my life forever. And he was going through a lot with his lady, but he was just trying to figure himself out, trying to figure out why. But when we had that conversation, right before him knowing who I was as far as a men's self-improvement coach, I just told him, yo, you need to read The Way of the Superior Man. That's going to be a book that's going to change your life. And I'm a living proof of it. I promise y'all. How I used to think now and how I used to think before, two different people. So when people say, Joe, this is not the Joe I remember from 2019. This is not the Joe I remember from 2010. No, of course, because I evolved from that old state of mind. You have to grow, right? I have certain friends that have a hard time. They think, oh, you have this persona. It's like, no, this is me evolving. You're used to seeing how I used to be. That was the old me. I've evolved. I didn't change who I am. I just evolved my way of thinking. So when you evolve your way of thinking, it confuses people, and people feel the type of way because they haven't evolved. But once you focus on evolving, it's going to change everything. So again, gentlemen, breakups is the greatest thing that's ever happened to a man. If you find any value in this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. And gentlemen, if you're going through anything, you just came out of that breakup, hit the link in the description box. Let's book a one-on-one consultation with me. And I promise you, I'm going to make sure I help you become the best version of yourself. Peace from Jay the Professor.